Howdy, and welcome back. Dude, we've got a lot to talk about. So, I'm not going to cover everything that happened on Tuesday's election night in this video, but I do definitely want to talk about the gubernatorial elections in Virginia and New Jersey. This, for reference, is the 2021 gubernatorial elections. This Jackson Jude website does not have the 2025 results yet. I wouldn't expect them to, given they happened on Tuesday, and today's Thursday, so how about that? But yeah, for reference, 2021 saw Virginia elect a Republican governor just 1 year, by the way, after Joe Biden won the state by over 10%. So this is a 12-point shift toward the Republican Party in just a year, which very, very impressive for Governor Youngkin. Of course, the outgoing governor now. He will be leaving office early 2026. And then Republicans also overperformed significantly in New Jersey. They did not win this election because, New Jersey is a very, very blue state, although that has been called into question over the last couple of years with, obviously, this most recent presidential election, as well as, of course, this result being Phil Murphy only winning by 3 when in 2017 he won by 14. So how about that? Anyway, these two results largely were attributed to Joe Biden's poor performance in office as the president, and yeah, it it definitely really feels like the popularity of the president in office has a lot of sway over how these two elections go. It's like these are the first real big referendums against the incumbent president, of course being a year after the election. So let's start over in Virginia with the governor's race. Now, alright, so for reference, this is the gubernatorial election prediction that I did on October 13th. I had Virginia as safe and New Jersey as likely. I can't remember exactly what I said for New Jersey. I think I had Virginia like just over the safe margin, but I think I underestimated Cheryl a bit. And you'll see once we get to New Jersey, once we touch on that. But yeah, turns out I was right about Virginia. I felt like I was reaching with this prediction, and I guess not. But yeah, Virginia's results, as of right now, it doesn't, on some of these others it says like the ballots are still being counted, that sort of thing, but it doesn't say that up here, so maybe they're finished. I don't know. We're gonna see if this fluctuates at all, but this is a 15.2% margin of victory, which just gets it over into the safe column. So you look at this, there's a lot of counties on here that went red, especially in 2024. In that presidential race, it's like you look at this and then you look at this. It's like there is a very stark difference here. It's like Spotsylvania County, for example, went to Trump by 8.5. Went to Trump by about 7 against Biden, but Spanberger wins the county. So how about that? Nearby Caroline County looks to be a shade lighter in terms of how red it is than everywhere else, which leads me to believe that it probably went to Winsome Earl Sears by less than a point. Of course, Trump having won that by 9 points in the last election. So there's been significant swings in these, and I mean, given the gubernatorial results in 2021, of course, that was Youngkin winning by 1.9. Spanberger just won by 15.2. That is a, 17.1% shift? Something like that. Somewhere in there. It's like 17 points. But yeah, I mean, this was a very, very widely watched race, and a lot of people did expect this one to be wider in margin than New Jersey. And of course, they were vindicated because, yeah, I mean, it was wider, 56.3 to 43.2 versus 57.5 to 42.3. So Virginia was a wider margin than New Jersey. And yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, people who were really tuned in, like people saw what happened in this race. It's like, this was very, granted, I mean, Winsome Sears was just not a very good candidate necessarily. I mean, was she the best that the GOP could have put up in Virginia? Out of everybody who wanted to run, maybe, I guess. I mean, unless Jason Miyares ran for governor, but even then, I think Miyares might have brought it down to maybe 11 or 12 points. I mean, that is how crazy this was. And speaking of Miyares, in a moment, of course, but this is the lieutenant gubernatorial election, and Ghazala Hashmi here won by 11%. Definitely not as blue as the gubernatorial race, but she did win some significant spots that Harris lost. Is the only county? Hold on. All right. Or no. Hashmi lost a few extra counties that Spanberger picked up, but yeah, overall, I mean, this is a very good result for Ghazala Hashmi. She won by 11 in Virginia. You know, that's a pretty solid performance as well from her. So yeah, I mean, good on her. I mean, this was a largely non-controversial race. This one didn't get talked about a whole lot, and so yeah, I mean, John Reed didn't really have too much conversation around him. It is the same with Hashmi. This just generally was not a higher profile race like the governor's race was, which is to be expected. I mean, the lieutenant governor is second in command, so, you know, what can you really say about that? But one that was very hotly contested and one that saw a lot of conversation was the attorney general election. Back to Jason Miyares, of course. Now, this did go to Jay Jones by about 6, like about 5.8%. So did he overperform Kamala Harris? Or like, what was his vote share like? Okay, 52.7 for Jones, I guess. Sure. So right, okay, where are we at? So Jay Jones wins this race, which, given the lean of the year, felt like it was more expected, but about a month ago, he had this huge scandal where he was talking about like a 2022 text conversation that Jay Jones had with some Republican delegate. He was saying, like, about Republicans in the House, he was like, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves. So it's like, that's something that is not really something you want to have following you around if you are trying to be a more unifying candidate. But yeah, giving a scenario in which Gilbert would be shot twice in the head. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head, and he keeps going on. Incredible. Amazing. How about that? Also kind of off topic, but like a Monday or Tuesday morning or something, I saw a video on Twitter of him like kicking at a dog, which, I mean, come on, man. like what are we doing? But even still, he won by about 6%. That was damn. I mean, could he have reasonably dropped out? Probably not. I don't really know the process for nominating another nominee for Attorney General. If one drops out, especially that close, I don't actually think that you could. In a lot of states, I know that that's a thing, but it's like there were a lot of calls on him to drop out of this race. But it's like, you know what? How would that go? How would that like replace him? what would happen there? But I mean, given all of this, we're gonna really have to see. This is how about it? Just, I mean, if he should resign, which I think, given these comments, might be wise, then yeah, I mean, that would probably come as a pleasant surprise to to a lot of people. But yeah, let's try not to dwell on this for too long. I know that I tend to do that, and that's a problem that I have. But yeah, overall, Jones, I mean, he won by significantly less than Spanberger and Hashmi. I mean, he only won by about 6. Big underperformance, but that tends to happen when you wish death on your opponents. Anyway, there's that as well. Next up, the Virginia House of Delegates. This one was very interesting. I didn't really look at this too closely leading up to the election, but there was a lot of talk that, like the House of Delegates had a higher chance of giving Democrats a supermajority than Winsome Earl Sears had of just winning the governorship outright. So something like that. I mean, I didn't expect it to actually happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is insane. A net gain of 13 seats. I was seeing tweets that were saying like every House of Delegates seat that mathematically could have flipped did, which, wow. I mean, it's yeah, very interesting. So yeah, now the Virginia House of Delegates has a Democratic supermajority. This is gonna be interesting to see, I guess, if you live in Virginia. But me, I mean, I live in Texas. I don't really get affected by this, but it should be interesting just to see how that goes, especially given the whole redistricting war that's been going on. Virginia seems as though they are a state that probably will redistrict in response to states like Ohio, Missouri, etc. doing it. It's like Virginia can very easily get another 4 Democratic districts. It's like if we go back to the website, House, Virginia elected 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans to Congress in 2024. Same with 2022. So it's like this was a pretty fair map, all things considered. I mean, there was a competitive seat in the second, so I mean it made sense. But it is possible for Virginia to do a 10-to-1 map, which could happen. I mean, we genuinely could see it happen, especially now that there is a supermajority in the state's House of Delegates. So there is that. Last up on the list, just to quickly touch on, is the New Jersey gubernatorial race. And this was one that I just could not gauge for the life of me. I mean, polling for this race was just, I mean, it was a little hard to, it was hard to gauge in a lot of cases, just because, I mean, goddamn that list of endorsements. Anyway, there was a lot of talk surrounding Jack Ciattarelli, of course. You know, if his name looks familiar, that is because he ran in 2021's New Jersey gubernatorial race, where he almost unseated incumbent Governor Phil Murphy. So, you know, out of everybody that could have ran in this race, Ciattarelli was probably the best pick. He ran a decent campaign. It's just like Mikey Sherrill ran a good campaign as well. It's just New Jersey. The main thing for this was kind of determining if the Biden era New Jersey was a fluke, because I mean, obviously Murphy barely hung on to his governor's seat in 2021, and Harris, I mean, there was a huge shift between 2020 and 2024. If I could just get back here, compare past to past. Yeah, New Jersey saw a 10-point swing toward the right. It was among the biggest in the nation. I think the only states that saw a bigger swing, I think it was literally only New York, which also had a pretty shocking result. So yeah, I mean, second largest rightward shift in the nation last year, and most of that got undone. This is about a 10-point shift away from where Phil Murphy was winning in 2021. I mean, Sherrill just ran a very, very good campaign, and of course, it does cement New Jersey as a very blue state. Would I call New Jersey safe blue going forward? Probably not. I think it's going to be one of those states that's going to be very, very likely blue, but something definitely has shifted in New Jersey, and tonight is how, or not tonight, but Tuesday night was how we found that out. So New Jersey is just a little less blue than it was before. So either way, kind of interesting just to briefly look at. I will do a video about California's Prop 50 that they just voted on Tuesday as well, where basically just voting for gerrymandering. Yippee. So that'll be something. I'll probably just go into the redistricting war just as a whole in that video, especially because, I mean, it was like I was saying with Virginia, they can technically draw a 10-to-1 map, which would be ridiculous given that the state is not overwhelmingly safe blue. So we'll just have to see how history looks. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.